If you want a quick way to generate helicopter missions for you and your friends in DCS World, then RotorOps is the way to go. Hey guys, Emils here, and today I'll be showing you how to install and generate a mission with RotorOps Mission Generator. Alright, let's get into it. So to install RotorOps, you want to go to their website where you can also find their user guide, but we are just interested in downloading RotorOps for now, so you just want to click on download RotorOps, and then it will take you to GitHub where you want to click on the RotorOps setup.exe. Now when that is downloaded, run the setup, set the directory wherever you want it, and wait for it to install. When it's done, it automatically should launch RotorOps. So now we are in the software and we'll just take a quick overview of what we see here. So on the left, top left, you can choose what maps you want to include or not to include. So for example, I don't own Nevada or Persian Gulf, so I could deselect Nevada as well as Persian Gulf. So those don't show up. And now in this presets menu, I only get the map presets I have. For some reason, it has kept one of the Persian Gulf maps. Now on the filter here, we can select multiplayer, single player only, or co-op only. Preferences, you can change your saves directory for your scenarios. And tools, you can save mission config. So what you would have configured here. Down here you can rate the presets you've used, and here is a little briefing about the selected preset. So from here we can select our blue forces and red forces. Each scenario has their own selection of them by default, which is probably the recommended preset. You can also find some recommendations in the briefing tab, so you can read maybe you need more or less of helicopters, enemy transports, or more infantry spawns or something like that. Here we can change different types of mission parameters, how many enemy attack helicopters we have, enemy attack planes, transport helicopters, and etc. So over here we can also tick this box that blue is on defense. That means that we are going to be attacked instead of us attacking the enemy. Here are some more mission parameters we can tick, and in the bottom right corner down here under the rating you can read about each selection there, and also you can read the installation and RotorOps guide on their website. Here we can set the time starting from day to noon to even random to have a surprise time of day. You can also change this in the mission editor. So here we have FARP conditions, which will pretty much be resupply bases where on what conditions they can spawn. So either they never spawn in new zones, or they always spawn new zones, or when we have a certain amount of ground units remaining. Here we can select some, I would say, comfort options. So smoke a troop pickup zone, so you know where you can pick up your troops. Game status display, which will pretty much keep a on-screen display of the game status, how far we've gotten. Voiceovers, which are just some custom voiceovers for the missions. So if you don't want any voiceovers, you just untick that. And perks are pretty much a reward system. So when you have a kill or you drop troops, you can use some perks like calling a drone or a strike somewhere. And down here you can also select this checkbox if you're planning to use it as a RotorOps server mission, so pretty much using it on the server. Now the most important part here is going to be player slots. So you can have spawns at zone FARP, so when you capture a FARP you can have spawns there. And you can also select if you want to have hot starts or cold starts. I usually have hot starts just for the comfort and so the mission goes faster. Now here's important part. So if you're playing single player, then you're going to be just selecting the single helicopter you want to fly. So the cool part is there's also some planes like the AV-8B and L-39, and you can also get the UH-60L here and use that in your missions. Now, but what we're going to choose is multiple slots, and as you can see, it's saved from my previous times where I've set up. I think this is actually the default for the multiple slots that they have set up. But pretty much I could change this to anything. So for example, I want to have a UH-60L and a Chinook or something, and I don't want this plane anymore, so I just remove it. And the minus removes one from the bottom, the plus adds one to the bottom, like so. Now if we press OK, it's going to save all these slots, and now we can press Generate Mission. Cool, and now you can see this is the directory for the mission output. So that's pretty much the installation directory of RotorOps you selected beforehand. Now let's go check it out there. And here it is. So Syria conflict, Mount Olympus, and the day we have generated it. So what we're going to do now, we can copy it. So either Control C or I just cut it out. And then you can move it to your DCS folder, which would be under your main disk, users, your user, save games, DCS, and then missions. And then here you could create like a custom folder for your RotorOps missions, and we can just paste it in here. Now, I would rename this to whatever you want yourself. It doesn't matter. So, Zero Conflict, Mount Olympus, tutorial. So, for in this case, but you can name it whatever you want. It doesn't really affect the mission in the end. So, let's launch DCS and see how everything's loaded. So, now that you're in DCS, you can either open the mission in your missions tab here, and you can find your RotorOps folder or whatever folder you've put it in here, and then there would be the mission. We're going to open up through the mission editor though. So it's going to be the same thing. There's the mission. So now we're loaded into the mission editor. As we can see, there's a bunch of waypoints, but we'll not get into that. And you shouldn't really edit anything around here. And if we check here, we can see that our aircraft slots, we don't really want to change these. I'm not sure if that would change anything or it wouldn't change anything. But better not touch something that's been generated. What you can change though is the weather, so change the clouds and stuff, and the time of day. So I think that was pretty easy. If you want to learn more in depth about each setting, then I recommend looking at their user guide on their website. I hope you have fun flying, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!